What's your favorite scary movie?
Hey guys, welcome back to Pop Culture with Pat. I am so excited to welcome back today's guest, Jan Van Epps, who plays Tess in M3GAN 2.0. Jen, welcome back to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me. Thank you. A little disclaimer. I'm getting over the flu, so if I'm a little snotty and coughy, I apologize now.
You are good. It's always great to have you back, and I'm going to give you guys a spoiler warning that we will get into some spoilers for the film. But first off, Jen, I wanted to ask you what was kind of your reaction when you first got the script, going through it for the first time? Because I know me watching the trailer for this when it first came out was not expecting the direction that you guys went in. I figured it was going to be, oh, M3GAN was going to come back, was going to be a killer
Right,
doll kind of thing again, but went
right.
in a completely different direction. So what was your reaction to that?
Well, hey, if it's good enough for Terminator, it's good enough for us, right?
Yeah.
I think my reaction was probably like everyone, utter shock. Because, we went from making this little two-room little sleeper hit to suddenly this is action. And I'm like, are people gonna buy this? What is this gonna be like? Obviously I know Gerard is such an underrated comedic genius. His Kiwi sensibilities really translate well, obviously. But I was like, how are we gonna sell a bunch of us dorks, robotics dorks, suddenly getting entangled into some like big action extravaganza? And it worked when I see it on screen. And for me and personally, like I always want my characters to evolve. Like I'm not here just to be the token, this, that, and the other. I want my little baby. Her new name is Teflon Tess because you can't keep her down. Um, Little Teflon Tess, we can't. I want to make sure that if the movie's upgrading and M3GAN's upgrading and every other character is, mine is as well. So for me to see that my character did also evolve in many ways, which we can talk about in a little bit, was super exciting.
Yeah.
Uh, and I kind of love this whole thing where I just get my butt kicked. Like it's like, yeah, sure. But that's me in real life. I literally trip and fall over stuff. I think Gerard and the casting director's like, this girl's a klutz. She probably would always end up, you know,
But like
string.
you said, can't keep her down. She just keeps coming back.
Teflon Tess.
And what was it like to see? I mean, because this was several years ago now that when you guys were actually working on the first film, to see the technology evolve from when you guys were working on that to the technology in this film. Because even though it was only a couple years, I imagine it was pretty significant.
It was significant. I mean, I would say a lot of how, especially the animatronic M3GAN and the puppeteering team is just much more seamless because the first time was, if I can be honest, it was hard,
Yeah.
really hard because, we're using this doll puppeted through other people on a joystick to elicit emotion and to get like very, very minuscule micro movements to really, yeah, just emphasize her personality. And I think it was just a lot smoother this time, a lot smoother. We were much quicker. Gerard loves all the shots, but that's why it's good. We have so much. In fact, between us, there's 50 minutes that had to get chopped.
Wow.
Yes. And my favorite scene that I was in, I got to play Catan on screen and it got,
Oh,
chopped. But
what?
that's, that's
Yeah.
like,
Well, hey, fingers crossed. I hope once this gets the physical release, I hope that like the deleted scenes are on there so we can
that'd be
see
so
that.
great. That's
That
right.
yeah, that would be amazing. And
Yeah.
yeah, I was talking because I had Violet, I had Amy back on the channel
Okay.
as well, and Amy was saying how the doll M3GAN was or before, like you said, where it was puppeted this time around that she was kind of moving on her own. And
Crazy.
like, I'm not gonna lie, that would have probably freaked me out a little bit to see this doll just kind of doing its own thing.
It's honestly just slightly uncanny. Even the posable doll, because we have the animatronic one. We have obviously Amy, masked up, blue face, whatever, all the iterations. We also have the posable doll, and there's a scene when we're standing at which scene anyway, there's a scene that we're standing at the computer in the M3GAN lair,
Yep.
and she's standing next to me, and I'm a mom, and she's just like this little teenage doll, humanoid thing. And I was just literally like, I just want to hold her hand. And I'm like, don't be a creep, you weirdo. Like, she's such a she's just really endearing in all her forms, but that she, yes, can move on her own, and her wheeling in when Megan wheels in, when she's a shell of a just, it is the funniest thing. As funny as it is on screen, it
Yeah.
was hilarious to see her sad little squeaky body wheeling in. I was like, this is ridiculous, and I'm here for it.
I loved
This
all
is
the
ridiculous in the
oh,
best.
yeah, I was saying the best way possible. It fully
Yeah,
embraces the camp and knows exactly what it is, which
exactly.
is the best thing. I like
Yeah.
we were talking before. I had the best time with this movie. I love that we got to see so many different iterations of Megan too. Like
Yes.
early on, we got the projections of her and on the wall, and the scene where she gets I forget like what kind of that little bot that she gets transported into.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah, that thing had me crack some of the funniest moments, I feel like, when she was in there.
See Megan. Yes.
Yeah. And
So,
we were talking about before, just saying how really in this film that Tess kind of comes into her own, especially early on in the movie. We see that Gemma's kind of doing her own thing, and we see Tess come up doing the demonstration. So what was that kind of like to see that for your character? I know we kind of spoke a little bit about it before.
yeah. I think it was really exciting. I mean, because, from a character standpoint, first of all, we're trauma bonded. I mean, anyone else that would have been like blown up, potentially, probably would have quit the next day. But
Totally fair.
I'm totally fair, excuse me. But Tess, if not anything, is loyal. Gemma needs friends. And I would say Tess is more forgiving and kind than I am. However, she definitely needed a significant pay rise, that is for sure. And she needed to be able to show her own brilliance. She herself is a roboticist. She herself helped to style Megan. Like I always say, like, you see Gemma's style is pretty to neither here nor there. I'm claiming it. Tess is like the fashion gal. She's the
Yeah.
one that like probably thinks about the outfits. Again, like we get to see her brilliance. We get to see that she is someone that is, like I said, loyal. She has the business savvy as well. So it's just nice to see that she's just not this like cute little fun girl in the corner that wears too many bracelets. She's
Yeah.
evolved. And I think that's reflected in Jeriana San Juan, our costume designer's design change for all of us. We've
Yeah.
all grown up. Like, if you go through a near-death experience, I haven't, knock on wood, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
but like if you go through a near-death experience, there's probably a couple ways you can go through that. You're either going to crash hard and flame out, or you're going to say like, I have one life. What are we going to do with this? And so Cole and I have no choice but to step up because Gemma's off doing whatever she is with, that
Press
guy.
tours and stuff. Yeah.
Exactly. Book tours, like, we're not making multi-million dollar deals on books. But it's feast or famine, and sometimes you got to put the big girl pants on, you know?
I love to see that for the character though. Like you said, it's not like she was just the assistant that's just kind of off to the side, not really
Exactly.
doing much. She definitely gets to step up. I'm curious moving forward, like if there's a possible like if there's a Megan 3, like what would happen? Your character almost dying again in this film. It's like, okay, like at one point it's like I got to build like myself my own suit so I can face off against these robots.
I would say for me, if Megan 3 happens and Teflon Tess doesn't make it, I want her to go out in the most glorious death possible. I want it to be the most insane. I don't want it to be. I think her character, like, I think Tess deserves.
I think so too.
If she were to go out in number 3, she deserves just some epic kill that people will talk about forever. You
I
know,
agree.
um, what that looks like, I don't know. Maybe finally is Megan looks at me and goes like, "You are useless," but whatever that means. Like, I don't know what that's going to look like, but I think she's been on this journey too long now to not die in the most ingenious, insane way, an iconic death.
Yeah, deserves a heroic or an iconic death
Exactly.
for
And,
sure.
I don't want her, I never want her to, because, really, like, Tess is kind of the moral lens of the audience, like, always questioning what is going on here. We can't be doing this stuff, and trying to put everyone in the kindest way possible, trying to steer everyone on the right track. And maybe on the last one, she's finally like, you know what? I mean, that would be an interesting turn.
Yeah.
You like, life is not fair. Screw it. Like, she's gonna do a 360. It's possible.
I could see that happening. Yeah, after just going through all of this stuff that she's gone through in the first two films, that would be a fun turn for the character.
Fun turn just to, but then it's also like she's so sweet. I don't know. I feel like I could have a talk to my child Tess and be like, where do you want this to go?
Well,
And be
we're at
like,
least giving ideas to the writers, so there's a couple different possibilities they can go with, moving forward.
exactly, call
And
me. I would like Tess. Did you know I speak Mandarin? And I would like Tess to actually speak a little Chinese in the next one. That's what I would like.
there we go.
Faceted.
We're giving you guys plenty of different material to work with
Exactly.
for a future project. And in this film, I liked how that Tess she got to babysit Katie in the film as
Yes,
well. And you got a little bit more. You not only had that, you had like the bunker scenes with
that's right.
Violet involved. You got to work a little bit more with her this time
Yeah.
around. So, what was it like to work with Violet a little bit more, but also get to see her, both her and I guess like Amie too, grow
Yes.
as actors from the first film to this
Yeah.
film?
You know, it's incredible. Like, because in the first film, I didn't have any scenes because I was in with Violet, because, well, I was in the lab.
Yeah.
Mm. It was incredible. She's an incredible actor. She's always been, and watching her grow as a human, like watching her, literally, we met and she was like 10. She was a kid.
Yeah.
She might have been 9. And now to see her as a teenager is incredible. Just like from like auntie vibes, because I am that old. I'm like old enough to be her mom, really and truly. Um, I'm just so proud of her. Actually, just from like the standpoint of being a stand-up teen, she's a person who's grown up in this industry and her parents have done nothing but to make sure that she is a whole, kind, well-rounded human. The girl plays soccer on a soccer team sometimes, like she really is all the things that I would want my child to be. And also genuinely kind and polite and respectful and so fun.
And it's hard being in this industry too, especially
Yeah.
growing up as a little kid and just being in this pretty much from the get-go.
Right. But I give her parents so much props because I think, again, like that's a lot of where it comes from. Like, what are the values that your family's instilling in you, and like what are the important things? And just like Allison, I see a lot. I see them as like two little mirrors of each other. They both treat everyone from the top of the call sheet to the bottom the same, friendly, kind, and that's it. And Amie's always delightful. Amie is just, she was like my little. I love her so much. Like, she's my other little friend from Aotearoa from New Zealand, and she's really repping it hard. Like her stunt sequences. If you haven't looked at her Instagram to see the stunt tape that was submitted, because the stunt team will always choreograph and then they film it to submit to Gerard and the producers. This is what we're thinking.
Yep.
It's incredible.
Oh yeah.
It's incredible. I literally am like, Amie, you're an action star, So I
Literally,
hope,
yeah.
right, literally, right. So I hope she gets a chance to unmask and we can see her beautiful face. And because she just lights up the room. You've talked to her.
Yeah, super talented.
She's
Yeah.
talented and kind. I
Yeah.
love kind people.
Yeah, they've both done the like some of the conventions. I haven't had a chance to
Oh,
meet them out here yet, but I've seen them, Amie doing like showing people how to do the M3GAN dance and
yeah.
different things like that. And yeah, I mean just some of the nicest people. I mean Violet, like you were saying, how so little in the first film. It's like even me interviewing her, it's like going from that first interview that I did with her to now, I was like, holy crap, like yeah, you've grown up.
She's grown up. I know they're not taller than me yet.
I thought I did see something about I don't know, I think it was maybe a picture with you guys or you maybe it was one of the other interviews that you did that you were
Yeah.
saying not yet, but she's like getting there.
They're getting there. I mean, I'm trying to think if they're going to eclipse me. I don't that maybe. We'll
Yeah,
see.
we'll see.
We'll see. I just have to wear taller shoes.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
But we were talking about too in the interview just as getting to have kind of a more physical role for your character in this film
Oh
as
yeah.
well. I mean, Tess she gets choked out by a robot at one point. She
Yeah.
ends up getting blasted later on in the film. So, what was it like getting to kind of film some of the more physical scenes for you this time around?
It was a lot of fun. So I did my own stunt with the choking, and my neck was sore for 3 days. I'm
Yeah,
not kidding. Like, so what happens? I'm harnessed, but the hands around my neck are just foam hands.
yeah.
So all the like banging it. It's me doing that to myself, which is mental. Um, but it was, I give stunt people props. They've got strong necks.
Yep.
One of our stunt, she's our Amie double, Meg. Hi, Meg. She was like, Jen, that's why we all have thick necks. I'm like, oh, I got it. I don't have a thick neck, but it was actually a lot of fun, and maybe this will be in some outtakes. I don't know. We had actually already filmed that scene with Amelia choking me out.
Oh, okay.
And so they just decided it wasn't like cool enough. It wasn't badass enough. Like we've seen how many bad guys take a person and slide them up a wall, you
Yeah.
know? Come on. And so they came up with this idea like, I'm all in. Getting choked out by a robot that's being controlled by another robot, like that's amazing.
Yeah, no, I'm
So
glad
fun.
that a lot of you guys got to have a more physical role this time around. I mean, going the action route, it makes sense, but it's cool that a lot of you guys had also got to participate in a lot of the stunts because it's
Yeah.
natural sometimes. It's like obviously you don't want the actors, you
Yeah.
don't want anybody to get hurt, but you don't want the actors to get hurt because then you have to possibly stop production and all this kind of thing. So it's cool that they let you guys do some of that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, when I get blasted, that's Kiara. Hi, Kiara. He was my stunt double, and that was just going to be too much on my back, like because they had her on some kind of a string. It was so cool to watch, and they did it in one take.
Wow.
She did it in one take. So she's basically this is her. She's on a string, and the thing just goes and just like whips her back, and they got it perfect on the first one. Couldn't believe it.
Jeez.
She
That
was incredible.
That's always crazy when I talk to different actors and there's like a big action sequence and they're like, "Oh yeah, we got that in one take." I'm like, "Wow."
Insane.
I
I
mean, just
know.
shout out to to everyone involved because it's like it takes a lot to get that done in one take.
That's right. I mean, I will say me getting choked out took a lot longer because I wouldn't know what I was doing, but it was a lot. I
Oh,
was holding breath. It was,
that's okay. I mean, Jen, it's not like you're like used to doing something like that, so it's natural that it's like, my take.
that's right. Production owes me a massage. I'm here to claim that.
There you
Send
go.
the,
I think you deserve it.
that's right.
And Ivana, I thought she was a
Wow.
great addition to this cast. I first discovered her in the Ahsoka show,
Yeah,
and once again, she gets to play another badass character. So,
that's right.
yeah, can you just talk about her joining the cast and what kind of like dynamic did she bring to the cast for you guys?
So I remember when, because there's a chat, and even Ronnie's still on one of our chats because we love Ronnie, but in one of our chats, Allison's like, oh, we're getting so and so's, Aristotle and Tim and Ivana. And my first question, because like I said, I like nice people. I'm like, are they assholes? Pardon my French, you can believe that. She's like, no, they're really nice. And I'm like, oh, we'll see about that. And really and truly, Ivana is one of the kindest, most beautiful spirits I have ever met. She is so, as you see her on screen, her eyes are just so open and magnetic. That's how she is. She's so porous and she's so genuine and she really lets you in. Even people, she's just incredible. And her professionalism is obviously on par. She's working in one of the biggest, franchise spinoffs in the world ever, forever and ever. But she just brings this humility to work. She works hard. This girl was strapped in all sorts of latex, this, that, and the other, this little freezing cold, and still in some like, that little skimpy gold piece. Like she just doesn't complain. She works. And, I remember talking to her about, she's like, it's just the Eastern European thing. She's from the Ukraine. She's like, you just do it.
Yeah.
You just get on with it. Unless it's too much, she will advocate for herself, but like she just gets on with it. And she's one of the dearest people in my life now. Like oh God, don't start crying. I'm so blessed. Like I just think about, oh my gosh, I'm suddenly feeling very emotional. I do what I do because I love the art, but I
Yeah.
also do it because I love connecting with people. That's like my mission and passion in life is to connect with people, with you, with anyone, some kid from Australia that has 32 followers. Like, can I interview? I'm like, yes, I want to connect to people because I'm an energy vampire. No, I'm kidding. But I'm just so fortunate that we could insert these people who obviously are already very talented, but are also so genuine and have done nothing but add vibrancy and life and love into my life. I'm so, so grateful. And thank God they can all act because, like I tell you, I am an actor first. I am, I don't care who follows you. I don't care what show you're on. If you can't show up and do the work, forget it.
Yeah.
And
And
having Jermaine on, because Jermaine, maybe you're going to ask me about Jermaine too, but
yeah.
having Jermaine Clement on was amazing. This is the third time I've worked with him. I played his wife. He was my boss because I was in this show, Time Bandits.
Yeah.
He was my boss on Time Bandits. And then now that he's in this, I'm like, welcome. I love this guy. We just keep bringing on beautiful people that add to the world. And that's so meaningful. It's really for you guys and for me. Like, I hope you feel like the new people have added something. Like, what do you think, Pat?
Oh yeah, no, agreed. Like I said, I mean, like Ivana, I was gonna say just with her too, because I got to meet her. Was it last year, or the year before? I got to meet her
Mhm.
at Rhode Island Comic Con,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
it was a very like brief interaction. You don't always get like the longest like time like with them just because there's so many people. But yeah, again, one of the nicest people that you could meet. Got to talk to her about Star Wars and stuff like that. At the time, I don't think I knew that. I don't think she had been added to like M3GAN 2.0, but great interaction. But like yeah, like you said, I mean, it's cool that you got to work with someone again that you had worked in with on other projects and
Yeah.
bring them in here. But yeah, no, I think they definitely added a new element to the
Yeah.
film, which is always nice just to kind of mix things up like a little bit.
Exactly. And I will say, Ivana, I told her, I remember even just in the trailer, I looked at her and I said, you're going to be a superhero now, right? Like, literally, whoever's watching Marvel, whatever, like, there, she literally is built like a superhero, first of all, and she has the acting chops. I just, she did a lot of stunts too. Like, look at me, I'm not a publicist, but hey, somebody needs to call this girl. And they
I wouldn't be surprised, especially, I mean, she's already, where she did Star Wars. It's like
exactly,
I wouldn't be surprised if we see her pop up in the MCU or the new DCU, just with
exactly.
that going on. So, and I mean, yeah, obviously she's super talented. And you also had, can you talk about just the relationship between, your character with
Mhm.
I was gonna say Allison, but Gemma and Cole,
Yeah.
how their relationship has evolved in this film, and just like yeah, getting to have those guys on again as well.
Ugh, my number ones, my day ones. Like man, I'm not like Pat. I don't. Why am I so emotional today? Oh, it's my matcha. Let me have a sip. I need to calm myself down. There is nothing like working with people that you trust and will show up and do the work, but more importantly, that you genuinely like. And I think in this film, you can see that our chemistry is even better because we actually are like friends,
Yeah.
Like I think I said this on the first podcast, Brian, we call him Uncle Brian, he's coming to my family group watch. Like we love him. We love Allison. She just lives far and I live far and I can't see her, but um
I'm sure you
it,
guys stay in touch, obviously.
yeah, exactly. But I think um it helps with the characters and their relationship if you can only fake so much.
Yeah.
I mean, really and truly, you can only fake so much. And I am a person, I pride myself on saying, like, I could probably connect to almost anyone. But if people don't give, you
Yeah.
can only do so much, right?
Agreed. Yeah.
And so energetically, it's just the right little mix, like the three of us and we all have our own little place in this trifecta, we all, but it's fun. It's fun to see both of us stand up and be like, Jenna, together, like you're not going to tell us what to do anymore. Even Brian's character, Cole sneaking off to a party. It's like, I need more in my life.
I
I need
love that.
food.
Yeah.
Uh, and so it's fun and also fun to see her soften to be like, maybe I really do need to like listen to them. Yeah, you done almost got us killed, girl. You better listen to us.
Yeah, exactly. And I like the relationship too, just between exploring M3GAN and Gemma's relationship in this
Yeah.
film and realizing maybe they have a little bit more in common than they initially
Yeah.
thought. I thought that was really fun to explore. So yeah, definitely a lot of layers in this
So
film that
much.
I really enjoyed watching it.
It's so great. I just, sometimes the people that you dislike the most, it's only because they're a reflection of yourself,
Yeah.
really and true, like in real life. And I think they both have the same objective. is to take care of Katie. I mean, Gemma was slow to get there in the first one, let's be honest. She's a mess. But in this one, they are they're running a parallel course, like what can I do to save this child
Yep.
who I love? But then also, Gemma also has the pressure of like, I can't fail the world again. And Megan
Yeah.
doesn't care for anything but
Got
Katie,
all the
but
eyes in the world on her.
that's right. So it's like it behooves her to fix the messes that she creates because Gemma's this girl.
I did like though revisiting the first one, the first film, watching that, she's kind of, thrown into that situation. It wasn't something where from what I gathered from it, it wasn't something that she maybe never wanted to really be a mom initially.
Yeah.
That wasn't in the plans. And then she's just
Yeah.
kind of thrown into this situation. So it makes sense that, there's a little, it's like, what am I doing? Like, how do I do this? How do I figure this out? And you get to kind of see that growth in the second film. She's a little bit more protective, but obviously that makes sense just with everything that happened in the first film. So,
And also, Allison becomes a mom. She's a mom in real life now. And I think,
okay, yep, that makes
right?
sense then.
And so that will also color how you interact because they're very close anyway, but excuse me, I think as you get more life experience, especially in the way that is required for Gemma and Katie to grow their relationship, she knows what that ultimate love is and what ultimate sacrifice is now. She not to say she didn't in the first one. We believed that, right?
Yeah.
But journey, I think it just makes it easier when you have that wealth of experience of like, what does that internally feel like, Allison's an incredible actor. She can turn on waterworks too. Violet is the queen of that. Literally, I'm like, how do you even do that? But anyway, like seeing their relationship grow on screen is really a testament to their actual real life relationship. And I think also the growth they've had in their own personal lives?
Yep. Yeah, no, that makes total sense. Well,
Yeah.
Jen, just to wrap things up for you, is there anything else that you would like to say about the experience of working on Megan 2.0? Again, where can, people stay up to date with you moving forward?
Yeah. First of all, please go watch this movie. It is really fun and funny. And I'm not just saying it because I'm in it. Listen, if I didn't like the movie, I wouldn't be making the rounds. It just doesn't make sense to do that for your own career. You just kind of take the check and run. But I really like this movie. And again, I think this is for everyone. Like literally my 80-year-old grandma, my PTA moms, my 13-year-old nieces and nephews, they love this thing. And I think you guys will too. And I hope you guys do. Um, and also the last thing is just shout out to Team Moreau. And they created an icon for the ages. Like Megan's not going anywhere. And they created this just little, this little vixen that we all love to hate and hate to love. Um, yeah, and just shout out to my crew in New Zealand, Aotearoa. I love them. The best crew in the world is in New Zealand. Anyway, you can find me on Instagram, Jen Van Epps. I have a private one, but that's, on the DL. And then also I'm not on Facebook. I have a private Facebook. No. I'm old. Okay. I'm a Gen Xial.
Hey,
Gen
totally understand.
That's right. But today I am going to jump on TikTok. I have an account. I'm going to post
Ooh.
my first TikTok today. I don't know what it's going to be, but watch out.
So make sure you guys give her a follow.
Please do. Well, thank you, Pat. Follow me on TikTok. Jen Van Epps, I think.
And make sure you guys go check out Megan 2.0. I can't agree more, Jen. Like I said, I saw it in the theaters. I had a blast with it. It's
Yeah.
something I'm going to be adding to the collection. Can't wait.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see where this franchise could go moving forward.
Yes.
I know I think it's January that it's like a spin-off called Soulmate that's supposed to
Yeah.
be coming off that's in like the Megan universe. But yeah, I'm really curious to see where things could possibly go from here. And as always, obviously, it's always a great time having you on the channel, and you're welcome
Great.
back anytime in the future.
I love being here. Thank you, Pat. Anytime. You know where to find me.
Oh, yeah.
Please
We'll make
reach
it
out.
happen again.
Okay. Thank you so much.